the United States to the high Arctic. Only Russia is bigger. 35 million people live in Canada, the vast majority along a thin southern line near the American border, making it larger than Australia but smaller than California. Most Canadians speak either English or French as their first language, but more than 1 in 5 have another language as their first, primarily Mandarin and Cantonese, but also Punjabi, Tagalog, Spanish, and Arabic. Incredibly, 126 different languages are spoken by students in the Toronto District School Board. And although Christianity in general, and Roman Catholicism in particular, still claim by far the most adherents, nearly 1 million Canadians now observe Ramadan, making Islam Canada's fastest-growing religion. In short, Canada is one of the most ethnically, linguistically, and religiously diverse countries on the planet, while Greater Toronto may be the world's most diverse city. Half of its residents were born outside Canada. Writer Shani Mutu captures the immigrant experience of dislocation and integration in A Garden of Her Own, a short story about a Caribbean woman of South Asian descent, learning to navigate her new life in Canada, where the land goes on forever, and where, as a result, she feels exposed, even naked. Living in a dingy apartment above a busy street in Vancouver, Vijay is terribly lonely. She misses her family, she has no friends, and her husband works long hours. In time, however, she teaches herself a few words in French by listening to the television, and she plants a small balcony garden, watching the seeds grow in her new country. While identities may be lost, they can be remade too in Canada's bilingual and multicultural soil. Because of its size and its diversity, Canada has never had a single national identity. In 1877, just 10 years after Confederation, a journalist described Canada as a lost cause and looked forward to its inevitable union with the United States. But the lack of a single national identity is a strength, not a weakness, something that historian Ramsay Cook understood. Across the length of his career, he resisted the temptation to define Canada. National definitions may be convenient, he argued, but they are incomplete at best and exclusionary at worst. Instead, he encouraged his students to think about Canada as a country that has been made and remade over time, not as a country with an essential identity to be defined, encircled, and defended. Using words like contingent, unfinished, untidy, and métissage, or mixture, to describe Canada, he pushed his students to see Canada's history as plural, not singular. Canada, he said, is a country with multiple and sometimes competing identities. And he insisted that Canadian history includes everyone, Indigenous and settler, French and English, men and women, queer and straight, black and white, European, Asian, African, and West Indian. Italian workers and Mennonite farmers, he believed, are as important as prime ministers and business leaders. And while the 17th century French explorer Samuel de Champlain may be considered the father of New France, it was women, because they had so many children, that ensured the survival of the French language in North America. Catherine Moitié, for example, was just 14 years old when she was sent from France to New France in 1663, but she had 11 children, 65 grandchildren, and 344 great-grandchildren. Similarly, it will be Qasim Alberdan, Manal Radin, and their family who fashion a new Syrian-Canadian identity and who ensure Canada's ongoing commitment to pluralism. 3 months after they arrived, as soon as the snow melted, they received a small plot in a community garden to grow their favorite vegetables and to put down roots, literally and metaphorically. Ramsay Cook understood something else, too. The northern half of North America was never empty.